Today in Smackey's Garage, we're going to be doing a project that I've been wanting to do to this truck for a while. We're going to be installing a 2-inch rough country leveling kit. So this kit should lift the front up 2 inches and allow me to fit some bigger tires on. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. Okay, so my plan is to install these rough country 2-inch leveling kit spacers right now. And we're going to go ahead through this. Let's go ahead, let's jump into the video. I'm going to jack the truck up and get the wheels off. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get this thing up in the air. So everything we're going to be working on is in here. So we're going to end up taking out this strut, and the spacer is going to go up in the top up here. So with this, it should be a pretty straightforward project. We just have to remove a few things, let a few things hang. It is a decent amount of work, but it's definitely doable. And I'm doing this just in an afternoon. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove these nuts for the sway bar. Then I'm going to remove these two nuts here. So this 8mm and this 10mm that are for that hold this cable in place and this in place, because we do have to move the caliper out of the way. I'm going to do this from both sides too, so both the driver's and passenger side is off. Next, we're going to be taking out the caliper bolts. So we're going to take out the large 21mm ones here and on the bottom. One of these large breaker bars is helpful for this project. So with the rotor off, I'm going to go ahead and remove the dust shield. So these bolts around here, which are nice and rough. Then we're going to go ahead and remove this. Then 13mm nut here. Then I'm going to go ahead and remove this, which is either an 18 or a 21. It's at 21. And if mine popped up and I'm in New England, yours should just come right out. Then I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up here. But one thing I'm noting is this is already pretty loose, so it's something that I need to watch out for. Check the other side, but it wasn't torqued down what it should be. And it pops out. You can see that it is spinning in there. So I'm going to need to take a open end, hold it here, and then twist this off. So if you end up in a situation like this, like I am on the passenger side, quick few hits here, and that will just pop out. But make sure this nut is on. The axle now slides out a little bit, which is good. So it's going to give it some room. I am going to remove this clip over here for the ABS because there's definitely not enough room here for it. So I'm going to make sure that I remove this ABS clip. Should have done this first. Okay. Now I'm just going to let this hang. Alright, so one of the other things you're going to have to do for this is disconnect this here. So this is the ABS sensor wire. This needs to be disconnected from inside the truck, and I'll show you where it is on the inside. But that is required to be able to pull this all the way down so that we can easily get this out of place. Alright, so on the driver's side, by the back of the firewall, near the hood, the connector you need to take off is right there. It's on the left. It is hard for me to capture it, but you can see it there. There's a little red tab in the back that you have to pull out, and after you do that, you can take it off. Then the one on the passenger side is going to be behind the battery, right there. And those are your ABS sensors. So now with that out, we can go ahead and start moving this strut. Now I'm going to remove the two 18mm nuts that are on the bottom of this. And then there are going to be three 18mm up on the top of here that needs to come off, but pretty straightforward to take it out. So the easiest way to get these out are going to be an open end, and then if you can access one from the top, it makes it easier. If you can't, they're not that tight. I would highly recommend a ratcheting wrench if you do not have one. Alright, so what I'm going to do to get this out is I'm actually going to try to get these bottom pins out first, because they're definitely the one that's the harder angle to get out. So a good pry bar here and prying these up is probably the best first path. For some reason I can't find my giant pry bar, so hopefully this one works. If it doesn't, yeah, it does. All you really got to do is push this far enough to get this out. All right, and we're out. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna install this. We're gonna install on the A outside. You can see there's A out here and then B out here. So we're gonna install it with this A out. This is pointing outside of the car by the truck when we reinstall it. Now, one of the tips to getting this done, so since you need to put A out and you're gonna have it facing this way out, you can see the bottom of these bolts are actually cocked that way. Now, because of that, it's gonna make it harder to get in. Now, what you can do, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna flip it around like this, and you can pull it like this over and over again until it gets to the angle that you want it. I did this for a little while to get it right, but after I got it right, it made the install so much easier. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in on the right spot. So this only will fit on one way. And hit all three of these. So right here, all three come through. And you're going to put A out, so right here. Now, I need to make sure I have these bolts in the right spot, so it's going to go one here, and then one here, all in the bottom spaces. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that on the top of this right here. And then nylock nuts are going on these three here, so 1, 2, and 3. Now, to make the install easier for myself, I decided to cut off a few threads of these studs. I've seen some videos where people have actually used an air hammer or a hammer to get them out. I wasn't able to do that as much as I beat on them, so I figured, you know what, this piece is sticking below the nut that's on the bottom, so if I cut it out, it shouldn't have an impact. So I ended up cutting out both sides of these, and it made the install much easier. And then this is the part that required 2 people. So in order to get this in, we really had to have someone push down on the bottom control arm with all their force to move it. And then with that, we were able to drop it in without taking out the bottom control arm links, which in the end probably helps keep the alignment more towards where it's supposed to be before I go and get it fixed. And after we got it mostly aligned, quick hammer, a few hits there, and it just dropped right in. Now what I really have to do is I just have to get this back in. So I'm going to use the jack, put a little bit of pressure on it. I'm going to lift it, and then I'm going to use a pry bar and then pry that back into place. Okay, so it wasn't too bad to get everything in position. Cutting those bolts down maybe a ½ inch made a large difference in the ability to get this in place. And with that, really gave me the opportunity to get everything exactly where it needs to be. So there are definitely some weird angles that you will get from setting it up this way with a 2-inch spacer up there. All right, so for these, everything's gonna go back on exactly the way you took everything off. Unfortunately, I broke all the bolts off of my dust shield, so I have to figure that out, which is kind of unfortunate. So CV axle gets 30 pound-feet on it, both sides. It's going to be easier to do with the brakes on or when you have something here to hold it. But it's pretty straightforward to put everything back together now that you have this in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quickly. And then we'll take a look at exactly how the truck looks. These ones seem to be 86 foot-pounds. And it did rain out last night, so my brake rotors are nice and rusty. So one of the things I noticed while doing this and putting the brake rotors back on is the upper spindle is actually making contact with the spring, and while the truck is in the air and you turn the steering wheel, you can hear it move, and you can visually see it move here. You can see the upper control arm move up while I'm steering. So you can see here, any extra lift on the jack or the truck itself, so when it's on its own weight, is going to make it not contact it, but while it's in the air, it's definitely making contact with it. So, I mean, not an ideal setup, but I shouldn't have my truck airborne, I hope. All right, so I guess that means wheels back on, and we are good to see how it sits. And there she sits, a leveled off F-150. I'm gonna go ahead and get some good pictures of this, but I'll also take it for a ride and give you impressions on it. Now, one of the last steps is to make sure everything is together. So check all the wires, check all the plumbing, the vacuum lines that go to each one of the actuators up front, those need to be in. I took the truck for the first drive and it was great. I mean, I don't really notice anything different in ride quality. I did some tight turns, didn't feel any binding, so everything feels pretty good on it. So overall, I mean, everything is pretty good. The install wasn't that painless when you get a second person to help. This is not a one-person job, so keep that in mind. Maybe you can do it in one person, but I was not able to. Okay, so it's been a few days. I've gotten the specs back for my alignment, so we can go ahead and take a look at them and see kind of how far out the truck actually was. Now, looking at the left front, right front, for caster and camber, everything was in spec, which you kind of expect because you're not really changing anything on that when you do the leveling kit. Now, the toe of each tire was out, and you can clearly see that here is 0.5 one way, 0.39 the other way. That makes sense because you are pushing the springs down further, which is going to tilt the tires out. And then the total toe is in as well, because as you lift it up, your tie rod ends aren't getting longer. So with all that, kind of as expected. And I'll tell you right now, the truck drives great. Now that my truck is lifted 2 inches higher, my headlights are now pointed further down the road, and that needs to get fixed. So thanks for tuning into Smacky's Garage this week. I'll see you next time.